Hello, and welcome to Storytime for Kids. Today we're going to read Pete the Cat, Scuba Cat by James Dean. And this is a book from I Can Read My First, which means if you're learning how to read, you can read with me. Okay? Let's get started. Pete the Cat is excited. He is going scuba diving. Pete puts on a mask and fins. He has a tank full of air. He hopes to see lots of fish. If you are lucky, you might see a seahorse, says Captain Joe. A seahorse? Says Pete. I can't wait. I never saw one before. The ridges look like a horse's mane, says Captain Joe. Groovy, says Pete. Pete jumps into the water. Splash! Down, down, down he goes. Up, up, up go the bubbles. Pete looks for a seahorse. He sees a swordfish. Pete swims out of its way. That's a good idea. But have you noticed something? Look! Of course, Pete doesn't know yet. Pete waves to a stingray. It has a long, skinny tail. That's not a seahorse, thinks Pete. Pete looks high and low for a seahorse. Then he feels a tickle. Did he notice? Pete sees a school of fish. They all look alike, except for one. It puffs up. It's a blowfish. It is not a seahorse. Where could one be? Pete looks in the rocks. What is that? It is an octopus. It has 8 legs. It is not a seahorse. Pete feels a tickle. What could it be? Pete turns. He sees a cave. Is there a seahorse inside? Pete sees a crab with claws. A seahorse does not have claws. Pete thinks. The cave is getting darker. Pete feels a tickle. Then he sees an eel. Pete swims past it. It is too long to be a seahorse. Oh no! It is too dark to see. How will Pete get out? Pete sees a jellyfish. It glows in the dark. Pete is almost out of the cave. He sees an angelfish. It is very colorful. Pete is out of the cave. So why is it so dark? Pete is in a shadow. He is in the shadow of a whale. Yikes! You see the shadow? Pete wishes he could jump on a seahorse and ride away. Pete hops on a sea turtle instead. It takes him to the boat. That's a cool ride, right? I did not see a seahorse, thinks Pete. He feels a tickle on his tail. A seahorse! Cries Pete. What a surprise! Well, at least he saw it now. You were with me all along, says Pete. What a cool adventure. Look at all these cool animals. Have you ever seen one of these before? The end. Thank you so much for listening. If you like Pete the Cat, look into the description of this video. I will attach a link to a playlist full of his books. And I have way too many coming up. So please stay tuned, okay? Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you soon.